Hey everyone. So today I've kind of been thinking about the causes of loneliness, and something new hit me that I hadn't really previously thought of all that much. I used to think loneliness was more so caused by you not really enjoying the company of the people you were with, even including yourself. If you don't enjoy your own company, then yeah, you'll probably feel lonely when you're by yourself, because after all, you're not having a good time by yourself. So I used to think that if you could really work on enjoying your own company, it could help stave loneliness. And it usually does. But today I realize there's probably another factor that contributes to loneliness that I hadn't really thought of much. I neglected this factor, and I now realize that's not so good because this factor seems to be a pretty big one as well. And this factor that I believe can contribute to loneliness is you not feeling comfortable enough to open up to the people around you. So being surrounded by people where you feel like you can't quite be fully authentic with them, you can't open up to them about your problems and what you're going through in life, so it makes you feel lonely when you're around them, or even when you have nobody who you can open up to in that way, when you have nobody you can be fully authentic with. That can make us feel lonely. We all need the ability to be able to connect deeply with other people. And when we're lacking that, it can easily make us feel lonely. And being able to enjoy your own company doesn't quite address this aspect of loneliness. I mean, it can, of course, because when you're able to work on becoming your own friend, you can have conversations with yourself in your head, or maybe even out loud if you so choose. Just make sure you do that at home and not anywhere in public where people might look at you and think you are a little bit crazy. But you can have conversations with yourself, and no, it won't mean that you're crazy. It just means you're working through things by yourself, because maybe in those moments you don't have other people that you feel comfortable to do that with. And that's okay. So that is an option on the table that we can utilize, and this is actually something that I will occasionally use myself. I do tend to have conversations when meditating in my mind where I'm just opening up to myself about what I'm going through, and basically in a way kind of like venting to myself to get those emotions off my chest, and it does help. So I would highly suggest more people practice this. But yeah, if you're going to do it where you're talking out loud to yourself, make sure you do it at home. You can also do this with your pets if you happen to have any pets. A lot of people will talk to their animals in that way, and it is a great way to get things off your chest. It is basically a form of therapy, pretty much, where your cat or your dog or whatever other animal you own is your therapist. And they probably even will enjoy having that role, so have at it. But yeah, this is something that's just important for us to have, these outlets where we're able to be fully authentic with whoever we're speaking with, whether it be hopefully a close friend that you have that you feel comfortable with, family member, maybe even potentially a coworker, although that's a bit tricky, of course, or maybe even yourself, or a pet. These are all things that we need. We need outlets for our authenticity, and when we're lacking that, things can feel pretty lonely. So it's worthwhile to cultivate relationships like this, and it will take time. I'm not saying this is easy. I know it's not, believe me. My friend group is pretty small, and it's been actually growing somewhat in recent years, which is really cool, but the only downside to that is I do plan on eventually leaving LA, and it's gonna suck to leave behind some of these great friends I've made here. So I know it can be very difficult to find people who we feel fully comfortable being authentic with. It can be incredibly difficult, especially the more you work on yourself, because you'll find that very few other people also do that, which means very few people will be able to understand you, to empathize with you, because they're not on the same journey of self-development. So it can be quite tricky to find these people. But while you're looking for them, just make sure you try working on enjoying your own company a bit better, because that will help immensely. Of course, it doesn't fully solve this issue, but you can get to a point where you can have those conversations with yourself in your head. You probably do want to set aside time to do this when you're at home and you feel safe and you don't have to worry about anyone judging you or anything. That will help. But I do understand that it only does so much at the end of the day, because we usually want somebody else who can be like a sounding board for what we're going through, somebody else who can empathize with us and understand what we're going through. And it's not always all that helpful for that person to be ourselves. But like I said, that can work. It is a useful tool, and it's something all of us should work on. After all, you're going to be going through your entire life in your own company, right? It only makes sense that you should be kind of like your own friend. You should be able to open up to yourself. You should be able to hold space for yourself and just support yourself, motivate yourself, cheer for yourself, that sort of thing. It's an incredibly powerful tool to have when you're going through life. But I do understand that we will often want other people we can do this with as well. So I don't have any foolproof methods for finding people like this. I wish it were that easy. I truly do, especially when it comes to dating as well, because my God, is that even a whole other can of worms? It's so difficult to find other people you're interested in who work on themselves, and yeah. So it's just one of those things where you kind of just have to wait until you get lucky. And while you're waiting for that luck to hit you, just keep working on yourself. Keep working on enjoying your own company, being your own friend, because it will make it a bit easier. But that's pretty much all I have for you in this video. I truly hope it was helpful, or at least a bit insightful, or even just something you enjoyed listening to, if it comes down to that. But I truly wish there was a solution for this. I do kind of have an idea in the back of my mind for the future to kind of help the people who watch my videos with this. I do have this idea of eventually throwing together like some kind of seminar, some sort of event where I can bring my viewers all to a place together physically and help them mingle and make friends and potentially even find life partners that way. It would be really cool. But until I'm at a point where I can make that happen, yeah, I don't really know of a way where we can go out there and easily find friends we can be authentic with or romantic partners. Yeah, there just isn't anything like that. So you kind of just have to keep doing your thing, keep working on yourself, and keeping an eye out for these people and notice them when you find them, and then befriend them or go after them if you're interested in them romantically. But that's about it. Anyway, truly hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!